but I always like forget about it because I'm so used to stages coming after.
Right, yeah.
After characters.
I wish it's almost like every other Smash game did that or something.
I like that they do stage first.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm a fan of stage first.
It is
in
kind of
general.
annoying that they don't.
I just wish that it would save my character in color.
Yeah, lots of small flavor of lessons would be nice.
For sure.
All right, get into this game though. Zanryo versus YellowRello.
This almost looks like a Pokemon battle.
It kind of does. Yeah, like Yoshi's 100% a Pokemon. He even says Yoshi.
It's true.
Yoshi, as he does anything.
Also,
Wolf, however, if he is a Pokemon, he's like the Lucario Mega Evolved sort of style Pokemon.
Yoshi's on screen, so I'm legally obligated to tell Wanpi that I love him.
Oh, these up air strings. The fact that he gets a third at the end.
Speaking of characters that probably aren't that good, but definitely scare the hell out of me.
Yep.
Yoshi.
Yoshi's definitely one of those. He scares me. It's real
Lord.
good. He hits real hard. He's got down
air frightens me.
Down air does a lot of damage.
It's so good. Also, I really like that they let him recover now with the amount of momentum and height that you gain off of egg toss.
Yeah. I mean, there's a thing in Smash 4 as well, but
I think they buffed it a little bit in this game though.
Possibly. His recovery definitely feels solid.
Can you control when you go through the platform with down B, or do you just always go through the platform?
I believe you just always go through the platform.
Okay.
Which throws some people off for sure. There are definitely times where I mentally but okay, you can go through the platform with down B, and then he does it, and I'm like, what happened? I'm like, wait, right, he goes through the platform with down B.
It's so weird. Is this the only game where that happens? I feel like that wasn't in 4.
So. I believe this is the only game where that
That's strange. Ultimate has so many weird things that where it breaks the rules of every past Smash game in bizarre ways.
It's kind of nice. Feels good. Bringing something fresh to the table.
I love that we're getting a matchup with two characters with phenomenal airspeed because it makes it really cool to watch how they're manipulating their movement to keep things safe in certain circumstances.
Like right there at the end while recovering, YellowRello drifted back just a little tiny bit to dodge that laser. And it's really easy to miss that if you're not explicitly looking for it.
What made me look for it was I don't remember what I was watching, but someone was talking about Mango and Melee, and they were like, one of the things that makes him a phenomenal player is that because he came from a background of playing Puff, he's such an expert at controlling his air drift, even on shield as space animals. And I was like, I'll keep an eye out for that. And then once you pay attention to that stuff, that's the kind of thing that you never unsee, right? You're playing a matchup and you're seeing oh wow, their air drift in this circumstance was really, really smart. I remember there was a set at Pound this past weekend where someone did something like that to avoid something, and it was just brilliant. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember posting about it on Twitter because it was watching it, I was like, wow, that was so precise.
Yep.
I also like it because it's makes the characters feel like they're on more even footing. Because what's that that was a great delay. It makes the characters feel like they're on more even footing. Because when one character has insanely good airspeed and the other one doesn't, it can feel kind of overwhelming.
Absolutely, yeah. With characters with slow airspeed, trying to get a hit on Wolf or Yoshi, who are moving around in the air around you, can feel really, really frustrating.
For sure. Wolf especially, so much of the stuff that he can do at you just feels so safe all the time, but when Yoshi can just sort of drift in there, wow.
Oh, yikes.
That was great. But when Yoshi can sort of drift in there and then fade back and, keep safe as well, it means that you have to evaluate these things on a different axis almost.
Both characters got pretty good out of shield options too. Wolf Nair actually surprisingly slow for a Nair of that style.
Yeah.
Frame 7. But 7 still isn't super bad, honestly, especially because of how much range it has. The hitbox is bigger than Nairs of that style, so still a really good out of shield option, still really good for pressuring. And then,
for sure.
That Yoshi Nair, as we saw, also huge.
Oh my god!
Oh,
that was nerfed.
Yeah, that was nerfed, and that's still
quote unquote nerfed.
I mean, it was nerfed. It doesn't mean it's still not strong. I honestly haven't seen how
they
much
changed
less it is, but
by making it do 0.1 less, and it's yep, that was a nerf.
Yeah, that's one of the frustrating things about patch notes from Nintendo, which I don't necessarily blame them for, because not a lot of people actually understand the numerical values behind knockback growth and base knockback and all that stuff.
Yeah, and also a lot of that is jargon that we as a community kind of created.
I don't think that's true. As far as I understand, that's how it's hard-coded in the game. It may not be the exact words that they use, but those numbers, people use those numbers in PM because that's part of the engine. That's literally what they're changing.
But I mean, the terms hit stun shuffling versus SDI.
There's definitely some stuff like that, hit stun shuffling and even DI. I don't know if that's 100% what.
I think it is if you check the tutorials in 4 and Ultimate, but I'm not sure.
Directional influence.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely something that would be nice. While obviously I wouldn't expect most people to understand what it means, it would be cool for us people who are a little bit more technical to actually get those values for when things are actually changed.
I'm a big numbers fan. Like that's why I like playing
yeah.
Hearthstone, because like all of the I get to see like every number in the world that I've ever wanted to see. Like what? It'd be like saying like, what is my win percent when I do like falling Joker back air? Right. Like being able to like see those stats is super cool.
Cool. Yep, that neutral gonna be a good response for falling wolf forward air on shield.
I just realized that they gave Yoshi Sheik forward tilt.
It kind of did, honestly.
That's the worst thing I've ever like said. That makes me angry.
That's kind of horrifying. Yeah. Yep, that's going to be nice tasty damage there on the jabber set.
That popped right in front of him.
Yeah, pretty close. Oh, speaking of pretty close. A little bit short there on that up B. YellowRello going to come stock ahead. At healthy 60, now 78% of his stock. Yeah, if you run into that charge down smash, that's still going to do the trick. Charged especially.
Gotta put an egg on top of it to stuff it a little bit. Good air dodge.
Stuff an egg on that. Nice call there on the up B. If he had wall jumped out or tried to stuff a side B, probably would have been in pretty hot water.
Definitely.
But YellowRello still holding on to this stock. And like forcing Zanryo back too. Like Zanryo is still like having a hard time keeping control of center stage.
Definitely.
Kind of throwing out the up smash there, hoping for a random KO.
Rello is doing a really good job of like being patient exactly when he needs to.
Exactly. Yep, good response. That Nair shield, as previously mentioned, would be really good. Zanryo's kind of whipping the smash attacks up. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's kind of getting to a point where he's just like, Yoshi's at 140. He should be dead by now.
He really wants him dead, yeah. Getting a little bit antsy. Okay.
Was that up-angled forward tilt?
Up-angled forward tilt, yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing you could do.
Yep, can angle that forward tilt.
Why?
Why not?
I have many reasons. Wow.
Big ol' hitbox on that up air.
And it's behind him really far.
Yep. Okay, that back air finally going to finish that first stock in YellowRello.
Speaking of big hitboxes.
Also a very big hitbox.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go for the up throw. Nice quick 23%. Punishing the down B.
Wolf's back air is almost as big as the anxiety it gives me.
Almost. Not quite.
Just a little bit off.
Nice
it makes me so happy to see Pachyderms walking around in the background in HD.
Yeah,
He's just cruising.
He's got a little bounce to his step now. He's happy to be back. Cool. Trying to catch the roll away with the run-up down smash.
I'm a little bit curious why he'd do run-up down smash instead of dash attack. Dash attack just seems safer.
He wanted to kill him.
Yeah.
He wanted to catch the roll away and like tip down smash.
I forgot how small the stage is.
Yep. It may not have killed depending on how much it was nerfed from the patch. I'm again still not 100%.
I think it kills like 5% later.
Oh, that's not a big difference.
Yeah, that's why I was joking earlier about like they quote-unquote nerfed it.
Technically nerfed it.
Ooh.
The spacing.
That was great. I mean, not for Rello, obviously, but good
right.
good on
spacing
for avoiding that for sure.
Okay. It's gonna be kind of tricky for Wolf to go that far out. Like Wolf's edge guarding off stage is fairly good.
Yeah.
But he can't really go very far down. A lot of his aerials have a lot of end lag, and he's not a very good vertical recovery.
That's one of the things that made me so hesitant to play the character. Is like on stage he's a monster.
Absolute monster.
But off stage it's so stressful because you just sort of like. You have like a very small range where you can operate off stage, and then you're just dead. Same with Prom and Roy.
Yeah.
I mean, Roy to a lesser extent, obviously, but like that sort of like you have this very small space where you can operate. Otherwise, you just have to ledge trap them. It just feels like weird, and it's always impressive to see players like working in spite of that weakness.
Oh, nice call on the up B. If he side B there, he might cut a big Yoshi that smash.
Big old noggin.
Big old noggin. Definitely kill at 130 on Yoshi at the ledge.
Whatever makes you say that.
I'm not sure.
Empirical evidence.
Empirical evidence. It might have been empirical evidence. About a little bit. Personal experience, maybe. Wow! Catching him in the middle of the dash attack, and Rello bringing it up to 1-1.
Good lord.
That was a close game, though. Like, the YellowRello had the lead the entire game, and Zanryo still brought it back to really, really close there at the end of the last stock, so.
Absolutely. I wonder what stage they're going to go to.
Yeah, it's always interesting to think about. There's so many characters in this game and like a decent number of stages that it's hard to kind of predict. Most people will stick to the comfort picks of like
when you have a game like Melee where you have like a really small stage list, it's like, oh, obviously this is the stage that you wanted to smash.
And now he will go to the predestined stage that foxes like to take to people. We are now going to Pokemon Stadium so that we can get up there kills at 70%.
Or just raw up there at like 45.
Yep. The Jigs has missed her rest. She is at 0%.
Goodbye.
We will see her gone now.
Yeah. But it's always interesting because there's so much room for like, well, in this matchup, I like to do this thing in particular, and like this stage facilitates this. Like, there's so many more things to consider when you have like a bigger set of stages to choose from.
Much more interesting in my opinion.
Absolutely. The one thing that I don't necessarily agree with is a lot of people thinking like, oh, all of these stages should be legal because they're so interesting. It's like, really? Like, in some ways that's a blessing. In some ways it's a curse. Like people that are arguing like the legality of say mementos, for example.
Yeah.
It's like what does this offer to the stage list, right?
Yeah, I think my mindset behind it is that any stage that doesn't have inherently bad properties should be seriously considered. I would be for mementos, but camping on that stage is probably going to be a serious problem.
Yeah.
So I like the slant.
Mementos would have been awesome if the slant were on the other side. Because then it sort of emulates the third part of the triplat.
Yeah. Because then the circle camping wouldn't be as hard. It wouldn't be as problematic. Cool. Factor a little problematic though from Wolf. Definitely gonna be sealing up stocks. Not easy.
I would argue in favor of mementos being legal if Morgana didn't meow every 10 seconds.
There's also that. No, dash attack almost.
Why is that just the nastiest knockback angle? Like it knocks you up and kills you, or it knocks you out and kills you. There's no way to DI that properly, as far as I'm concerned.
Move hits hard. DI.
But like sometimes it knocks you straight up, and sometimes it knocks you like at a complete horizontal angle.
Well, usually if it's
oh my god,
it's gonna be it's not okay. Wow,
Wolf has the worst stuff in the game.
He's got a pretty horrible vertical recovery. That's for sure.
That was hyperbole for anyone keeping track. I'm sorry.
Okay, trying to call out the roll. Okay, good that he can narrow out of that. He's gonna take a lot of damage with that second falling up there. All right, up tilt just gonna finish.
Give him the boot.
A nice rising boot there.
I love that his up tilt is just like melee Fox up tilt, but in front of him. He's like, that's too much effort for me to like do the handstand or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna like.
I'm just gonna kick real hard. Is that okay?
I mean, clearly it is. You killed.
Okay, nice call out on the jump out shield there with the.
You got hit with that
blaster.
bayonet hitbox too.
Absolutely, the bayonet hitbox is surprisingly large. Actually, it's definitely not safe. Like you can definitely get punished if like you try to make that call and it doesn't work. But
it's good for anti-airing someone if like they're gonna jump in. It's like, oh, I'm gonna read you like dash dancing around, or if you jump in, the bayonet's gonna hit you, and we're back at neutral. So it makes it like a little bit more safe in circumstances.
For sure, yeah.
Also better on shield.
Definitely makes it scarier at close range. Has more close range applications. Cool. Yep, those full hop approaches not going to work so well against Yoshi. That up air is going to say,
I'm kind of surprised that grab didn't connect. He was so close. Some grabs in this game are definitely a bit shorter than I think they're going to be.
Yeah, grab range overall. They definitely didn't want. They intentionally made shield grabbing not good.
Yeah, no melee bar stuff.
Definitely not. Yeah.
I'm a shield grab machine, so I'm offended. Which is to say, I'm a bad player.
YellowRello going to take his time. Not going to contend with those vulnerability frames. Throwing eggs from the left. He's taking 23 damage from eggs alone. Whoa. Oh, okay,
wow.
Okay, I like it. The back was not the kill yet, but I like that sequence of moves.
I wonder why he tongued that way. Probably a flipped up B.
Probably.
What if there's some forbidden Yoshi tech that we're not privy to?
There's always that question in new games like this.
What does he know that I don't?
Yeah, what tech have they been saving for Shockwave number, whatever Shockwave number this is?
It's time for me to break out my secret move.
In my winter semifinals of pools. Who knows, man? It's a scary life out there.
For sure.
Oh, yep. That's going to be painful. Not stocked quite yet, but another one of those. It's going to do it. Ooh. Looking for that roll away. And the back end. Why is Yoshi back here so
strong?
Good? That is a good move.
That's incredible.
Good stuff from YellowRello. Definitely, like, Zanryo had him on the back foot a little bit. And, like, put him into the corner. But YellowRello definitely pulled through. Definitely held on to that, like, that last stock of his, that second stock of Game 3, like a champ.
Absolutely.